This is my August TBR, and this is going to be my TBR for the Heart-A-Thon created by Will of the Book Barrel. I will be taking part in his Readathon, the Heart-A-Thon. Heroes or heroines in education, art, resistance, and technology, which I thought was so cool. And I know my track record for the year already I ain't really been taking part in like readathons like I really should, or I'm trying to. This one I'm gonna take part in. It's like 4 prompts, and I think they're just very simple but very deep and effective. Like really good, like well thought out prompts. So I definitely am looking forward to taking part in this. Also, one of the other hosts is Joe, the Booktube Dude. That's his channel. So he's also hosting it. I'll be supporting. What's up, gang gang? Be out here. Actually, it's more gang this way. I don't know. Definitely leave a comment if anything resonated with you. Say something informative. Give me an informative fact, something interesting, something keen, something neat. Give me a joke. Give me an emoji. Anything. Just comment that down below. I'm here for all of it. Just give it to me. I am not sure. Like I tell you, as easy as this readathon is with the prompts, like just simple these prompts are, I'm still having a little bit of back and forth in my head about like what I should be reading. Oh honey, I do what I want. I do what I want. Cause I'm popping. I will pair the books with the prompts now instead of like, I'm gonna just read these books and we'll just pair them up with the prompts later. Like, no, we're gonna do it now so that we can like stick to it now. You know what I'm saying? Read a book about someone, real or imagined, who exhibits courage, innovation, outstanding achievement in education or education reform. I honestly, I'm gonna be taking liberties with these. So I'm thinking, being that I'm still in an introspective mood, especially after reading All Boys Aren't Blue, I'm thinking I will read No Ashes in the Fire, Coming of Age, Black and Free in America by Darnell L. Moore. For Darnell life and career, he is educating people on blackness, queerness. So I figured this is a really good book to read in August, to really kind of get me a little bit more introspective, learn about him and his life, and get some education from his life and what he knows through this book. Then I'm in the top. For the second prompt, read a book about someone, real or imagined, who exhibits courage, innovation, or outstanding achievement in the field of art. I'm going with James Baldwin's Go Tell It on the Mountain, partly because the book club I'm a part of, the QPOC Reading Circle, we plan on reading this for August, being that it is James Baldwin's birthday in August. So we are reading a James Baldwin book. I think last year when we read Giovanni's Room, that was our book because it's James Baldwin's birthday. I still don't like Giovanni's Room at this point. And there are other people who are gonna probably be like, ugh, how could you not like Giovanni's Room? Like James Baldwin wrote it and it's about like sexuality or whatever. I don't care. I don't like it. I just didn't like it. I would reread it to give it another chance and see how I connect with it, because it is a book I said I was going to do a reread of, but I'm still in my bag. And I'm believing that I'll like this. I feel like I'll like all the other books besides Giovanni's Room. I believe his writing is really great. I loved his writing in it, but I just didn't like the book. I just didn't like that story. It just wasn't a story that it didn't connect with me. I'm believing from how this sounds, it sounds like something I will enjoy, and I think there is a movie adaptation of it. So I definitely want to watch the movie adaptation, or at least go watch the movie to be sure that it is the actual adaptation of this book. Resistance. Read a book about someone, real or imagined, who exhibits courage, innovation, or outstanding achievement in subverting the status quo. Being that Ashley at the Bookish Realm and Deidre at Shade Tree Reads both reading this, like they're doing a read along of like Sister Soldier's novels. And I'm a huge proponent for the coldest winter ever. You know, that's my good girlie. I love her. I love winter. As much as she's a problematic girl and she gets on my nerves, I still I want to reread this. So I'm like, I want to join in on the reread. We're gonna chit chat and kiki and kick cackle and all that stuff about this book, because I need to do some more like annotating, because I already started reading it a little bit, because I know it's gonna take me a while to read all my books. But I'm definitely going to read this for the month of August, so we plan on doing like a live show and talk about it. So I'm excited about reading this, and I'm excited about getting to the next book, Midnight, and also reading Midnight. It's not the meaning of love. No. Midnight, a gangster love story is the first one, and Midnight and the Meaning of Love is the second book, and then Midnight, A Moment of Silence is the third book. Plus also reading the Poor Santiago story, A Deeper Love Inside, I think that's the name of it. I'm looking forward to reading that, because I feel like it's going to parallel Winter's story, but it's going to have more of a happy ending than Winter's did. I am excited about this, and I still need my adaptation. The reason why I chose this for that prompt is because Winter is a very resistant, rebellious kind of person. That's what's admirable about her, but also the thing that is very much problematic about her, that she's just so rebellious and resistant, but you also admire that she can be that, because she ain't just gonna stand for any old thing. She's gonna be like going against what everybody else thinks, going against the status quo, going against so much of what everybody else is saying. Like, this is how it's supposed to be done, and she's like, I don't give a fuck, that's not how I want it, going this way, because this is what I want. And I am just loving her for that. I love her character for that. As messy and messed up as she can be, I love her, and I love this story. And for the fourth prompt, technology, read a book about someone, real or imagined, who exhibits courage, innovation, or outstanding achievement in the field of technology. I don't really think I have any books about like technology. Being that I'm still reading How Long Till Black Future Month for the Black Future Book Club, I almost want to pick this because I'm like halfway through it. So I'm still thinking like maybe this is what I should read for the technology prompt, because I don't know, like I don't think I have any books about any characters that are innovative in technology. Like, I mean, there's sci-fi, science fiction, sci-fi books, but it's just nothing feels like innovation in technology right now. So I figured I would read Invincible, the Ultimate Collection by Robert Kirkman. It's like an sort of omnibus. It's kind of like, it's more like a volume bind up by Image of the Invincible comic book. It's like the first volume. I think there are 9, I might be wrong. There might be like 3, 4, or 5 volumes tops. But this comic book is completed, and I wanted to start because I heard this is really good. I don't know how much innovation and technology is about to go on in here, because I do know it's superheroes, and I think he comes into an awakening of his superhero powers. So I don't know, maybe there is some innovation and technology going on. Because honestly, I don't think I own any books that like meet the innovation and technology prompt at all. I doubt I'll actually read the entire book in August. I'll probably read like half of it, a quarter of it. But I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna crack the plastic and finally read it. But also in the process, I acquired some new books. I got Rosewater by Tate Thompson. After hearing Ben at Ben Reads Books, hearing him talk about this book and how good it is, and just the premise that it's like futuristic Nigeria, and I don't know, he sold me on futuristic Nigeria, and I was just like, okay, I'm right there. Okay, like, I definitely am going to be, like, I'm excited about reading this. I'm looking forward to reading this. Another book I'm excited about reading too was Rage of Dragons, because from the time I heard about it, and I just kind of, the fact that it's like African, black people, and dragons involved, my first thought was like, is this the promise? Is this the promise that we were supposed to get from Black Leopard, Red Wolf, of this Game of Thrones-esque type of story? Is this gonna actually fulfill that promise? Is Rage of Dragons gonna fulfill that promise? And I'm believing it. I was talking to Deidre at Shade You Reads about it, and she was like, I'm not going to say it anymore, but but you're kind of on the right path with like Game of Thrones. So I'm thinking this is going to be very Game of Thrones, very A Song of Ice and Fire, but without excess like descriptions, but all of the action, all of the intrigue, all of the political drama, all of that. Like, it's gonna be in here, and I'm looking forward to it. And it's gonna be Black people, so I'm excited. Let's do this. Also, I got A Song of Race and Ruins because everybody keeps talking about it, but also because I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to this. I probably should read this after I read Children of Blood and Bone, but also like, bitch, I'm excited. Let's read this. And I don't know if there's any books. I don't know if this is a series. It feels like it's gonna be a series. I will look into and do some more research on what this is gonna be a series, but I'm excited about reading this. I barely even know what this is about, but I'm pretty sure I know it's gonna be like African stories. It's gonna be about African characters set in an African-esque country, and there's gonna be magic. I'm gonna read it. I'm excited about it. Reading it. It's Black people and very likely magic. So I'm all in. I'm ready for it. Let's go. I also got Kindred. I will definitely try to fit this in soon, like in August or September. I want to read this for the Octavia E. Butler slow read along. I believe that's the name. I need to get my stuff right, but I'm participating. I'm going to be reading this. I'm going to acquire each Octavia Butler book as time goes by. I wanted to actually read Octavia Butler in like sequence in chronological order, but being that I think this is probably her most famous, well, I wouldn't say famous, but I wouldn't say the most well known. The book that everybody likes whenever they talk about Octavia E. Butler, just the first book that they pick up. I understand why it's like the first book we're going to read in this read along, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I also got the box set of the 5th season, the Broken Earth trilogy. I got the entire box set because it's like, I'm gonna just go in, all in. I am already loving N.K. Jemisin's like writing here, her world building. So I'm just excited about getting into this. Everybody already talking about how great this is. So let's jump all the way in and just get all immersed in it. And finally, I bought all like the 3 current volumes of Skyward that are available. I have no idea how long Skyward is going for, or if it's done, or if it's gonna be this is the end of it or whatever. It would be amazing. I would have loved to have gotten it in a like volume bind up, the big volume bind up with all of the comic books in there, but I'ma live, I'ma be fine, I'ma deal. So I'll definitely read this and get into it, because ever since I heard about Skyward, I'm kind of like very, very intrigued to read this. And it's another Image comic book, because at the end of the day, Image is she's my favorite comic book publisher right now at the moment. So shout out to Image. Image is my good girlie. Like, she's my fave. She really is my fave. Like, if you were to ask me like who's my favorite publisher, like who's published books that I've like loved the most, honestly, it's probably gonna be like Image. Image is really, she did her work. She did her thing. She's a girl that like stay putting out like this, like the books that I want to read, that I want to pick up, you know, that I want to get into. She's that girl. So these are all I'm reading for the Heart-A-Thon and for my reading for the month, and I'm just cross-pollinating it, cross-connecting it with my book club picks. I'm excited about the Heart-A-Thon. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to the Heart-A-Thon Readathon. I am looking forward to participating and checking back in with my wrap up and letting y'all know how my reading went. I believe it's gonna be better because there are less books on the TBR and less pressure. I'll be great. I'll do great. I'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. It'll be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. Awesome. Leave a comment down below with an emoji, with a joke, with a fact, with something nice, a positive, I don't know, uplifting, complimenting. Share a story, share your story, share anything in the comments. Just leave it down there. I'm here for it. I'll be reading it. I'll definitely respond to it because I just be out here responding all the time. You know, I like a little community, a little connection, a little communication. I like to learn a little something. I like a little laugh, a kiki, you know, all of that. We could parlay and partay in the comments and such. You know what I'm saying? Or just comment anything that resonates with you in the comments. So thank you for spending your time with me, and I am out this bitch like Fleek the fuck.